Hey, we're live. What's going on, people? What's going on? Okay. Just want to make sure everything's good. Yep.
Just want to make sure everything's good.
Yeah, okay. Sorry for the feedback there. Let me quickly I'm gonna post. I just want to share it real quick to Twitter. How's everyone's Friday afternoon going? What's good, everybody? What's good? Just quickly share into Twitter real quick. If my phone will allow me to do so. My phone is terrible. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot of topics. And then I'm not caught up on My Hero, but I caught up enough to talk about Deku's new power that everybody's been going crazy telling me about. So we're going to talk about that. Let me just quickly post this and bam. Also, check the description. I have a contest going on right now. If you got an old Gemmer account or you don't have a Gemmer account, you just make a Gemmer account and upload. By the end of the stream, I'm going to announce the winner of it. Upload parts of your collection, if you collect stuff, anime, manga, whatever the case may be. And by the end of the stream, and use the hashtag, by the way, it's FW or hashtag FW Boruto contest. And by the end of the stream, I'm going to announce a winner, just like that, for the new Boruto Blu-ray. Yeah, so I'm up right now on My Hero. I'm at where Deku, he's in the middle of his fight. He just had that crazy outburst, and one of the predecessors came to him. So I'm right there. Yeah, I've been up on Dotaro. I started it. I haven't caught up yet. I got a lot to say about that one as well. So I guess let's start off. I want to talk about the Madhouse situation. Madhouse might be in big trouble. I was looking a little bit at this article, but from what I saw of it, it seems as though it's about time. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's about time that some action has been taken against the rigorous and disgusting labor, not even labor laws, just the industry of how they treat these people in general. Because I looked at this article and I'm like, again, in case people aren't aware, it's been already. Oh, shout out to Christian Wilder. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. You hyped for the new season of Seven Deadly Sins, the girl debut episode 201. Yeah, Seven Deadly Sins. That's one of my next missions. Once I catch up with My Hero, that probably be my next stop of catching up on the Sins manga and the anime. So I'm hype. I heard about that, and Garo's going to be sick. Can't wait. Thank you, by the way. But getting back to it, and I appreciate the donation. Really, much love. This is just something that really I've been hearing for so many years, and people don't know that these people are going through these disgusting labor hours, just in general, the work that they have to put in with animators. Animators, they go through some stuff, and I've through the years been like, yo, when is there going to be a change? What's going on? And yet again, somebody at Madhouse, one of the workers, got hurt again. Let's read the article because I got the article pulled up right here. Honestly, when I was looking at this, I was like, again? It says Madhouse production assistant hospitalized for overwork and demands compensation for unpaid overtime. Absolutely. Whoever this guy is, and again, we're going to keep on going, but whoever this guy is, the fact that he is taking action, very brave of him, because that's not common from my understanding in Japan, in the workforce. They're not with all of that. You know what I mean? You got to be quiet. One of the sayings that they use is the nail that sticks out gets hammered in. So they don't really speak out. The suicide rate over there was dramatic. The things that I heard that just broke my heart, of like Japanese workmen jumping into trains because, things like that. So the fact that this guy is taking action and there's seemingly an organization that is backing him, this is great. A Madhouse production assistant has joined the trade union and is seeking compensation for unpaid overtime, as well as an apology for the various forms of power harassment they received, according to youth labor rights activist Shohei Sakakura. I want to get that right. Sakakura, who acts as a representative and editor-in-chief for the youth labor advocacy group and magazine Pose, reported the news on his Twitter account on Friday. Move further. Sakakura reported that the Madhouse production assistant had joined the Black Company Union, a trade union formed in 2017 that offers consultation and support for workers across various industries. Man, this is a good union. Again, just from everything I've heard all these years, these people, they're dying on the job. The fact that an organization is finally being put into position and people are joining it, this is great. It is one of the organizations associated with Posey. Sakakura stated that the Black Company Union had commenced the process of collective bargaining on April 5th. In a follow-up tweet, Sakakura went into more detail about the Madhouse production assistant situation. During crunch time, the assistant would work over 200 hours of overtime per month. Not 200 hours, 200 hours of overtime per month, and would be made to work all day and night, even on weekends or public holidays. This is disgusting. I can't believe they had even collapsed due to overwork before and had been taken to the hospital. Sakakura remarked that he had heard from a lot of people that this is how the anime industry works. Yeah, that's when I hear this stuff, this is what they always say. He said that he used to be told the same thing about the teaching, vending machine, nursing, childcare, film production, and construction industries. But we managed to improve the long hours and unpaid overtime in those industries, he wrote. It takes courage, but when workers speak up, they have strong power. Very, very, very true. Very, very, very true, because this is a very disgusting problem of these people that are getting just demolishing themselves. You know, even in the manga industry, look at Yoshihiro Togashi, shining example of like this man was dying on the job, and to this day he has, I would argue, and again I'm not a therapist, nothing like that, Yoshihiro Togashi, creator of Hunter x Hunter Yu Yu Hakusho, he might have PTSD out of all of this, and that's why the way he works is so particular, and the way he moves is so particular, because it destroyed him. Let's continue. However, there's no denying that behind this Black company lies a Black industry, Sakakura went on. Even if we manage to improve one company, it doesn't spread to the companies around them. Then the others will just carry on thinking that honesty doesn't pay. They'll force the burden on smaller companies by subcontracting them for work. Workers for many different companies will need to speak up in order to change the industry. Very, 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 very awesome to hear that in this tragic situation, there's companies stepping up. Sorry, I wasn't seeing the chat, by the way, but let me just quickly go up. Okay, thank you, Kurumi Tokisaki. Keep reading My Hero League of Villains hype. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about it right now. I'm going to have a big video, but I'm mainly going to talk here in a bit about Deku's power and the whole controversy about that. But that right there, that article, woo, that's some tough stuff, because at the end of the day, there's people that are this is still going to keep happening. Just because right now there's a little bit of action being taken doesn't mean that it's completely going to end. Everything is still going as we speak right now. There's somebody in many somebodies in offices in Japan that are destroying their bodies, that are psychologically getting probably traumatized by all this. Because, you know, a lot of people, they do this because they love this. They love drawing. They love art. They appreciate it. And that's why they get into this industry. And then this happens. And you know, it's like they start to see the reality of it, and it's disturbing. It's really disturbing. I don't care if I'm growing up in Japan and I love art and animation. Based on everything I've heard, I will never try and take a job doing that, because that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. How most of these, and this article didn't really cover that, but a lot of these, if not majority of these people, they're getting pennies. You know what I'm saying? They're getting $900, less than $1,000 equivalent a month living over there. They can't even live on their own, and they're working like a bajillion hours. It's disturbing and disgusting, and I'm glad that this organization is taking action, and I'm glad that this guy decided to speak up after all this, you know, destroying himself. That guy, hopefully he sparks a big change in the anime industry, because it's about time. It's gotten way out of hand. So yeah, I just wanted to cover that one because I felt that was important. Let's see what else is on the docket. Thank you, Not Really Goku LOL. I appreciate the donation. Didn't have anything to say, but thank you nonetheless. Let's see what else we got on the docket. Okay, I was going to quickly touch upon this. The Dragon Ball Z Blu-rays. Oh, shoot. Thank you, Josh Magarefte. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. The real question is, do you rather have your manga and anime be completed weekly with them overworking, or have it be released bi-weekly or more and have better health? I'd rather have them healthier. Well, of course. And that's the thing where they're going to have to find a happy medium, or they're going to have to give these people more money to have a bigger staff to be able to complete these projects. The problem is that they're undermanned and they're trying to make a living for everybody involved. So they're getting these scraps that they get. Not every author or every creator is Eiichiro Oda. You know what I mean? So they get with these scraps that they get, they got to give it to their team and everything and try, and it's almost like a hustle. Like people look at it like, oh, it's this glamorous thing. No, a lot of people don't realize that the anime and manga world is very dark when it comes to even the offices and what jobs these people are managing and what they should be getting and how much work they're putting in, but what they're actually getting. So to answer your question, let me go back. Because your question was basically, I guess, honestly, I'll go bi-weekly if it means that these people have a healthier environment. But to be honest with you, I think that they need to hire more staff. Give them more money, more staff. We won't have any more of these issues. Period. Give them more money. Let them hire a bigger staff to handle things, because it's not as simple as just drawing the manga. It doesn't just like, okay, he draws it and it's in 5 minutes. There's the shaders, there's the toners, there's the people that got to check for continuity, there's the editor, there's so many different things, so many people got to get paid behind these projects. So that's why their biggest bank is what they get based off the revenue return from the manga sales. So that's why I always encourage to support the manga club. You love a series or whatever, you want to support that author, please go out and buy a manga. Please go out and buy something. Really, the manga is what their bread and butter. Go buy the manga so that they could get some money, because that's their biggest source of revenue. And it's a shame that they're not paid higher off the gate. I don't care. Like, everybody that is drawing manga and their dream is to be in Shonen Jump, their dream job should come with the dream pay if they're going to be working those strenuous hours. Now, if they're giving them the right amount of money to, which I don't even know what type of money would be, a equivalent exchange for my sanity. But if they're giving, I guess, the right amount of money and somebody's willing to do that and they get the manpower behind it, go for it. But something's got to give, and I'm glad that organizations are taking action again. Let's talk about, again, though, the Dragon Ball Z Blu-rays. I briefly just going to touch up on it, not get too much into it, because I know that, everything, the situation with Vic Mignogna. Thank you again, not really Goku, LOL, room tour, maybe someday when I move again, because this is like a half office. It's not like how I used to have things. Obviously I have a family now, so it's a little bit different. Got accommodating, like, the anime palace that it once was. But yeah, the Dragon Ball Z Blu-rays, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Honestly, for me, when I saw them, I'm like, man, I want them. And to be honest with you, because I'm and it's just me, they're probably on the right path to having my attention, because I'm somebody that I'm not that finicky about things, I guess. I don't even want to use that word, because it's not that anybody's being finicky. It's because it's being marketed toward, like, the Dragon Box audience. It's being marketed towards them, and they're not getting what they want, right? Like me, I don't get me wrong, any version of the show, I'd rather take the Dragon Box, right? But I guess picky would probably be the word, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so simple that I just, like, as long as the show looks really good or good enough, like, I'd be fine with it. But then again, they're marketing it towards people that want the green. They want all of that extra picture and stuff like that. And that's why the big backlash is coming in. I think, what is it? It's $350 for the entire series of Dragon Ball Z on Blu-ray. It's missing, like, I guess the picture quality is like missing details still, and people are not happy again because they have that grain removal. I'm imagining the reason they're doing that is a lot of it has to do with money. The thing is, like, okay, and I'm not trying to defend Funimation by any means, because things is already chaotic, but you got to look at it like this, which I guess it does go back to Funimation because they're the ones that are putting this product out, but they don't get to just say, hey, give us the Dragon Box masters and let us just put it on Blu-ray and re-release it. They don't get to do that without giving Toei a big bag of money. Like the Dragon Boxes that we got of Z back in the day on DVD, those were supposed to just be a limited run to begin with, because again, that's the way Toei does business. So it's bad on Funimation. If any fault is going to be that, yo, Funimation, if you don't have the money, don't do it. And then on top of that, I guess the thing that is making people more mad at Funimation is the high price. But I guess since they're showing you what you're getting, people can obviously make the choice not to support it. And that's why I think people are voting with their wallets on this one. I don't know where they're at right now. I know they have a 3,000 goal. I'm not buying it. I'm going to be honest with you, because I bought Dragon Ball Z a lot of times. So I'm not buying it. But I can see why people will buy it, and I can see why people wouldn't buy it. I'm not buying it for a lot of different reasons. One of them being just, again, I bought Dragon Ball Z so many times, and I'm probably not going to touch that set if I did buy it for like 100 million years. So right now, that's not, and they're going to re-release it again anyway. So I'll just wait till the release that I want comes along that is perfect, or not even perfect with all of that. But if I was buying it, if I was interested in buying a Dragon Ball Z Blu-ray box set, I probably would get it. I probably really wouldn't care about those things. So that's where I'm just kind of like in the middle about it. But in general, I'm not buying it just because I don't really need it right now. And I feel as though it's not adding anything to my collection when I have several variations of the show. So that was my stance. A couple people on Twitter had asked me about it. I'm not getting it, but shout out to the people that are. If that's what you want, if you're fine with the way the show looks in the trailer, and you're not just being blindly buying it, not realizing, then go for it. I'm not gonna hate on somebody for buying what they want to buy. That, like, I'm not running in nobody's pockets, but I will say again that I'm not buying it, and maybe in the future they'll re-release it again and they'll have the set that we want. But it's also Funimation is not completely that they're purposely wanting the show to look not the way the fans want it. Like, that's also something else that is just a factor. They shouldn't do it anyway to begin with if they can't give the show that, or the version that the fans want. But they can't just grab any masters they want without licensing, or they'll get sued. It's crazy like that. All right. What else? Let's see. We talked about that. Real quickly, I'll save it for the next stream. I was going to talk about the One Piece Stampede trailer, but honestly, I haven't had time to sit down enough with it and really dive into everything so I could kind of come and talk about it. And I don't like just doing a simple live reaction and just brief when it comes to stuff like this, because I think One Piece Stampede is going to be pretty important. So I'll probably say that for the next stream. So I guess let's jump into, why don't we start with My Hero Academia? And by the way, for new people joining into the stream, you want to win a Boruto Blu-ray. I announced this contest a few days ago. You can just go, link in the description below, shows you all the info. Go to Gemmer. If you don't have an account, create one. If you do, it's fine. Upload your collection using the hashtag FW Boruto contest. By the end of the stream, I'm going to pick one person to get a Boruto Blu-ray. And yeah, just like that. Thank you to Christian Wilder again. Forgot to mention that A1 Pictures will not be returning for season 3 of Seven Deadly Sins. Oh, really? That's interesting. I'm curious who's picking it up. I think A1 wants to walk away from the shonen genre at that point then, or the shonen bracket of anime, because Fairy Tail is about to wrap up, and if they don't want to do any more Seven Deadly Sins, maybe they just completely want to walk away from that, because aren't A1 doing SAO, and SAO brings in the most bread and butter anyway, so they might be just shying away from shonen battle in general. But thanks for that piece of information and for the donation, Christian Wilder. I appreciate it. So My Hero Academia. Now I'm about at chapter 213. I want to say 213 or 214. And wow, I'm at the point right here where, and by the next stream, I will, or I should be caught up. I wanted to catch up for this stream, but it didn't happen. I'm not going to make up any excuses. It just didn't happen. But I got enough to a point where I just saw the predecessor of, or one of the predecessors of All for One. Is it all? No, or One for All. One of the predecessors of One for All. He showed up and he explained that power that was oozing out of, it looked like Venom was, it looked like Venom, was popping out of Deku at some given point. And the predecessor shows up and he's like, yo, you need to be able to harness that anger. Anger is fine, but you just got to control your heart and how you're using that anger. So I think I look at it as the metaphor and the message of it. And we're going to talk about all of it, because in that also, that whole thing, we find out Deku is about to have all the quirks of the predecessors of One for All, and he's about to be super OP, and it's wild. A lot of people are saying that it reminds them of when Naruto found out, or we found out about Ashura and Indra with Naruto, how he was the child of destiny all along. So then what was the point? It was even further or way before that, when we had that child of destiny thing that people were saying that about Naruto. And now people are saying that, and they're saying that My Hero Academia is basically booty now because Deku was all along this child of destiny, essentially, because he has these newfound powers. I have a lot to say about it, to be honest with you. Thank you, real quickly. Thank you, Cake Knight. You've been following Golden Wind. Shit's lit, my dude. I have not. I'm like probably on episode 4 or 5. I was watching it, and then I got sidetracked. I have to get back into JoJo, man. JoJo Bizarre Adventure. Oh my gosh, if you don't know about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's really good. It's a classic. The anime is amazing by Studio David Productions. They're great. JoJo's, man, I gotta get back in Golden Wind. That was turning into like my favorite part very quickly too. That's the crazy thing about it. And I'm a very, very hardcore fan for part 2 and part 3. But man, that part was incredible. Thank you again for the donation. Thank you for the donation, Geek Assault. Have you had a chance to watch or read Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba? If so, any thoughts? Enjoy it. Oh, Supreme Guru. Hey, Guru. Thanks for joining through, bro. I appreciate the donation and you stopping through. Yeah, I actually, and this is why YouTube be trash. Please hit that notification bell in case you haven't, because it would have sent out the notification. I did a Kimetsu no Yaiba episode 1 first impression like a day or 2 ago, or was it yesterday? I don't know. I recorded it a while ago, but last video or 2, I did a first impression on it. Man, that studio, this is going to be, for an anime adaptation, probably one of the strongest we've had in a while, because that studio is breathtakingly incredible. The Fate series ain't no joke, okay? So yeah, I'm really hyped about that shit. Thanks for coming through again, bro. I appreciate you. And yeah, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, hype right now. Getting back to My Hero Academia, Deku. So again, people, their frustration is that they feel as though it defeats the whole purpose of the story of this underdog that had the cards were stacked against him, and he kind of just did it on his own. I look at it like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Where I'm at right now, again, about chapter 213. I'm before the end of this whole big Class A versus B fight, or not fight, training exam, whatever you want to call it. I always just say it's training to me because I got a lot to say about that. But I'm gonna have a big video, and then we'll be reviewing the manga by next Friday about this arc, the Class A versus B. Yeah. But anyway, the whole Deku thing. For me, I look at it like this, right? The thing that is explained very, very well is that if Deku was trash, he wouldn't have that. He wouldn't be able to control it, for that matter. He wouldn't be able to do nothing with it, and he still has to keep progressing. So his power, it's metaphorically, in my mind, it's saying Deku's power is the fact that he continues to persevere no matter the odds are stacked against him. Now he has a new challenge of kind of controlling all of these and learning little by little a new quirk, which is going to make for a good new power-up for Deku every arc, if that's how they're going to do it. I don't know. Again, I haven't finished the exam or whatever, but if Deku was like, yo, they about to give me all 6 of these quirks, I'm trash. Like, I can't believe they're about to do this. I'm trash. Then I'd be like, what? You know what I'm saying? But the fact that Deku once again continued like, okay, I'm just going to persevere. Okay, I got it on lock. Doesn't make me as upset as maybe somebody would get, because I wasn't upset about the Naruto thing either. I wasn't that upset about it. Looking back, yeah, it does mess with the message. With this one, I feel as though, because, I mean, he's already had One for All in him from the beginning of the series. So he already had a power that wasn't essentially his own quirk to begin with. Now that power is manifesting because of his hard work. So Deku, even though, you know, you say whatever, he wasn't like, yo, I'm trash, I don't deserve this. He kept moving forward with the power up from the beginning, and now he has to continue doing it. So I'm kind of missing the message of why people are very upset. Thank you, Let's Go Boy, for the donation. I appreciate it. Haven't seen many psychological thriller horror anime manga that I enjoy lately. I like Jagan manga, but didn't like where it went. Any recommendations? Jagan took a very horrible turn for me, because it started off one way and it was like, oh, shortly after. I got a few videos I'm working on, and I kind of like to get in depth with some of these, because now I'm starting, I'm maturing now. I like to give a lot more of an analysis when I give things. But honestly, a good horror anime that you enjoy lately. Have you seen Higurashi When They Cry? That's one of my all-time favorite horror anime. So that's immediately what comes to mind with that. Of course, there's Tokyo Ghoul. Everybody will say manga, of course. I'll say season 1 of the anime is really fun, but go with the manga Tokyo Ghoul, but you may have already with Tokyo Ghoul. But yeah, back to Deku's powers. It goes back into Naruto as well, because then that's also like saying Naruto is trash because he had Kurama in him from episode 1. Deku has had One for All in him, not episode 1, chapter 1, but he's had it in him fairly early on in the series. So what is different now that this quirk is manifesting more abilities for him, but he has to be able to master himself as a person in order to use these abilities? If he's just like, yo, I'm trash, I sit here, I'm garbage, nobody take me serious, look at me, I am Deku, I am trash. If he was like that, then I'd be like, okay, we've officially jumped shark here, people, but we're not there. You know what I mean? We're not there. I'm not sure what that means with the thing by it, but Anshul Mital, thank you for the donation, bro. Really appreciate it. But I have no idea if that's, it's real weird. But yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it, brother. Or sister, if you female. I'm not trying to offend. But you have full faith in Horikoshi. Yeah, I see it as, again, how is it any different than what he's been already? The only thing that you could argue is that the way they're saying that he's destined, but even if he's destined to complete this quirk, because he has the capability and he has the personality and the tenacity to persevere through all of this stuff, that's his power. That's Deku's. The conversation that he even had a chapter or two ago with Bakugo, or every conversation since Bakugo's learned the true secret of Deku and whatnot, has been, hurry up, I want to see your power. And all of that, I wouldn't be surprised by the end of My Hero Academia, he loses all those quirks again. It'll probably get him through some adventures or whatever, but he's probably going to lose all of them again and just have normal All Might strength, or he might be like a Batman or something and end up with nothing. But again, we got to wait and see. Like, there's the thing where, like, and that's why I think my opinion is very valuable and valid, because everybody normally just wants to jump and immediately jump down the series' throat. And don't get me wrong, I love Black Clover, and if I was on that path, I'd be like, yeah, man, that's why you need to read Black Clover. But that'd be corny, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I don't see it as like a deal breaker by any means. The fact that, in fact, I was thinking that Deku was going to have a quirk that was latent and eventually come out via his parents. I thought that maybe he'd have his parents' quirk too, and I wouldn't be mad about that, because again, it comes from within, and he has to master it to be able to use it. That's been the idea and the premise behind Deku's character and his development all along. The only thing that is problematic, I would argue, again, is the whole idea of he's the chosen one to finish off this whole mechanic. But even then, he wasn't chosen even by All Might. All Might didn't choose Deku. Deku chose All Might, and All Might went along with it, if you really look at it deeply. Because All Might wasn't there for Deku. He didn't come to UA for, that wasn't his first choice. His first choice was, I can't remember his name, but the dude with the Obito type powers or whatever. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trash too, man. No. But yeah, he wasn't his first choice. So how could you say that, like, it was a chosen thing and they planned it all along, or there was this Deku chose him? The show betrays its own premise from the start. You think he'd become a cool ass Batman or something because he's not genetically gifted, but instead the show just gives him powers anyway. So yeah, if you're gonna argue, then at that point you have all along, it's just like, you know what I mean? All along you've been that way. So I don't get why people are shitting on it. Mirio, thank you very much. Frank Roddy, thank you for saying Mirio. Yes, Mirio. He was the chosen one, if anything. So I think, honestly, it's fine. I think this is going to be really awesome. I want to see Deku more in that shrouded thing. When he's in the spirit world talking to the predecessors, I love that he looks like a shinobi of some sort. I love that. And the predecessor that he got that power from, the whip or whatever, and the venom type powers, that was freaking incredible. I think he's an awesome character. I love, honestly, where I'm at right now, if anything, got more excited, and I'm gonna talk about a lot of it because I'm gonna be honest with you, in a separate video because we gotta keep this stream going. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see it as like, oh, it's a problem. I just don't see it as a big problem. Deku getting all of that, because if that's the case, then you had a problem all along, because One for All was not his genetically. So you have a problem with it not coming from the genetics. If that's the case, then yeah, you've had a problem with the series from the jump. So that's how I see it. That's my take on it. I don't feel as though it betrays anything that the series didn't establish very early on. You want a character that is straight up 100% hard work only, and gets his stuff, then maybe Black Clover would be the choice. I'm not saying that to plug it. I'm just being honest. But My Hero Academia, I'm 213 right now. I'm loving it. It finally got really, really interesting and exciting. Well, it got interesting a few chapters before that. And I'm talking about because the beginning of the Class A versus Class B training, the Shinzo stuff. But yeah, we'll talk more about that in another video. I'm curious what you guys think about this, though. In My Hero Academia, up to chapter, I believe, 213 or 212, somewhere around there, 210s to around there, the power-up that Deku got of now that he's about to have the other 6 quirks from One for All. Is that a deal breaker for you? Does it make you hate the series? Do you feel as though it betrays the entire series altogether? It ruined it. It's similar to how you felt if you felt negatively towards Naruto being the child of destiny, or you see it as it's been the case. That's been a gifted quirk to him all along that is evolving, and it's only evolving due to Deku's hard work. If not, he would be trash laying there, probably beating himself off into another planet and not knowing about how to control these powers. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, he, with his own strength, did that. Thank you, McKitters, for the donation. Ayo, what they trying to say with the name Black Whip Boy? Huh? You got me there. If you're talking about the power, I believe it was a black whip that he was using. It was kind of like Venom's powers, or from Spider-Man or something like that. That's what it reminded me of. I don't like call it hard work. Hey, Trey Golds, thank you for stopping through. Anime and manga for life, boy. Yeah, so My Hero Academia, honestly, again, right now, I think that power thing is going to be very interesting. It's going to show all the evolution. If anything, we're getting a spoiler for Deku's, I guess, power-ups throughout the way. For me, it looks like, oh, we're about to, this is a spoiler for the Super Saiyan 1 through 3 transformation, so to speak, because those are going to be his power-ups. That's what it seems to me. He got the first one now. There's still 5 more. They're probably going to be scattered through a couple of arcs, unless I'm wrong. Again, I'm about 10, 11 chapters behind, but just got to wait and see. I'm excited either way. Honestly, right now, where it stands, Deku, if anything, is just getting more interesting, because to be honest with you, after a certain point, there's only so creative in a shonen, where in the market and day and age that we're in right now, you got to be creative and have cool powers and stuff like that. There's only so much creative and cool things you could do with just, super strength and stuff like that. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Superman gets so much hate, because, well, his is a little bit different because he's too perfect. People have a problem with him. But yeah, I know I kind of just trailed off. That's my wrap up for the Deku problematic aspect that people have been talking about in My Hero Academia. I guess let's move on to One Piece, and then we'll save the best for last. No. One Piece was incredible too. We got One Piece manga chapter 949. A lot of things to say about this chapter about hockey and its abilities. And honestly, to me, I feel as though, hold on real quick. It feels as though hold on real quick. I apologize. Okay. I feel as though this is going to basically be one big training. All the time that Luffy has spent in captivity with Kid and up until now, training while Queen is basically allowing Luffy to train right here. This is all one big training arc in a more interesting fashion that One Piece knows how to deliver, because it doesn't just feel like, oh, okay, Luffy went off to train again. Like, the typical go away, time skip, yada, 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 which has been done, of course, in One Piece, and it can be done again and again in interesting ways in the future in different series. But Oda's doing it in a way of like, I guarantee, for the most part, not I guarantee, but I feel very confident saying Gear 5th is going to be one of the results of this whole thing. If not Gear 5th, definitely one of Luffy's next big transformations, but I could see this being the hidden mystery of, because, you know, Luffy has to go somewhere in order to learn a new gear, unless it's going to happen in the midst of a fight, and that doesn't seem to be Oda's style when it comes to Luffy. It doesn't seem that he likes him to learn during the fight. It seems more so that he likes to have him learn off screen or during some sort of training and then bring it back to the table when the main plot comes along. So that's what I'm feeling right now with all of this. And it's a huge mistake, Queen. Huge mistake, bro. You done booked up right now with what you're doing, because you're giving Luffy time to prepare. You're teaching Luffy different things. In fact, he's going back to Rayleigh, which honestly, Rayleigh, I never realized how important from the time he entered the story he's been to Luffy's character development just in its entirety. Luffy was not developing that much up until Rayleigh came into the point. Yeah, we've had those awesome moments where like the Nami moment where Arlong and stuff like that. But in terms of Luffy truly changing as a character and developing, it was Rayleigh that's been all along, again and again and again, the reason why Luffy said, yo, I'm done running. Remember back at the end of that, and I always reference it, but for me, that was a very powerful changing moment in Luffy's character when he finally said, we're done running from Fujitora and all them. That's over. That's to sleep. He put that to sleep. And from then on, he's kept going. Hockey, everything that he learned from Rayleigh. And I feel as though this chapter once again demonstrates time and time that Rayleigh has been an incredible teacher, but maybe it was time for a new teacher. And I think that that's one of the keys that that old man is going to play that's been in captivity with him. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. Have an awesome day. Anyways, back to it. So, where do we begin? Honestly, this chapter, I feel as though it was kind of cut into a couple different pieces, because Zoro, his kind of whole part was mainly, I almost felt like, not mainly, but a good chunk of it did feel as though not recap, but kind of getting more perspective and clarity to stuff that we already knew. Kind of getting it from, matter of fact, hold on, let me just quickly, there we go. Back to it. I apologize. Had to get rid of some negativity there. We don't do that. Not anymore. Okay. Let's see. Okay. It seems to me, and I'm still sticking with it, the whole theory that that chick, and I guess that's more of the context that it added as well to the situation for me, that the chick that Zoro ran into on the bridge that was running with her kid or whatever, that turns out to be Momonosuke's sister, I feel as though she is still, like, she's bad. I feel as though, because you got to look at the situation, and I wrote a couple of notes down of kind of how everything has been, right? With in this chapter in particular. So we got Momonosuke tells the day she lost her whole family. So she's been alone since 13, period. She lost her brother. Thank you, McKitters. I appreciate the donation. Yeah, we don't do that. You know, that's done. That's dead. You know what I'm saying? We on to positivity and just living. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thank you, by the way, again. Looking at it from age 13, she's been alone. She lost in front of her face. She lost everybody that would be able to protect her except one person. And again, then that person disappeared. It was Momo and his retainers, which is Kinemon, Kanjuro, all of them. Her father and mother, she just lost everyone. So how could she have possibly, even with the whispers, which she says that she didn't really believe it wholeheartedly, the whispers of them returning, how could she stay with that righteous mindset when she's a little kid that after 13, when that guy disappeared, freak, I forgot what his name was, one of the people, Kawamatsu, when Kawamatsu appeared, that's when all of a sudden, or not that's when all of a sudden, see, I got off track, I gotta, yeah, my mind. Anyway, when Kawamatsu disappears, she's 13 years old. who is going to guide her to continue believing these whispers that she says, oh, even the split personality thing, the joke there, not split personality, seems like a split personality where she's like, oh, hey, are you a friend or are you a bad guy? That's probably her being a worm. I felt as though that was her being a worm. Again, maybe I'm just being way too paranoid after Pudding, but I always got to be precautious with it. And I feel as though she's a traitor. I feel as though she's definitely in Orochi's pocket. She don't care. These people ain't been around in 20 years. Her family all up and disappeared in front of her face. You think she could stay that positive through all this? If she could, she's a warrior. But the kid that keeps laughing, the way she even was speaking, she said something at the end. Ibs, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Thank you. Attack on Titan manga, bro. Major dubs. Love, bro. I've heard. I gotta catch up. Thank you for the donation, bro. Appreciate it. Since she was 13, she was separated. I'm sorry. I'm just getting back on track. Ooh, made to me. She said something. Can't risk fouling their preparations at the end when she was talking to the little girl. I think she wasn't talking about risk fouling the preparations from her clan and group. I don't think she was talking about fouling Momonosuke's preparations. I think she was talking about Orochi's. I think she's bad news. That's what I'm getting from her. I still am sticking with it that she is BSing. She's just doing in Zoro or biding time doing in Zoro, and we're gonna see Zoro's gonna get duped over this girl, and maybe that'll teach Zoro a lesson and go back into the whole Kuina situation again. Kuina, I feel as though at some given point has to become very, very vital and very, very important in all this, considering right now is Zoro's time to shine. This is Zoro's arc, Wano. Gonna be interesting to see if she does turn coat and do all of this, but that's what I got from it. I mean, maybe Kawamatsu actually disappeared when she was 13 because maybe she gave in Kawamatsu. Have we seen Kawamatsu yet? Maybe she gave him in. That would be interesting. The whole thing about the yokai, father's retainer stood by her, yokai. Like, it just seems very, very fishy, honestly. She just seems as though there's something off with this chick and she's not telling the whole truth. We're not getting the full picture or something. Because, again, from 13 years old in Wano? Bro, I don't want to be 30 years old in Wano. 13-year-old girl in Wano? Bro, come on. She's in the Orochi's pocket. She's right now capturing them. Because, again, one of the things that it seems in Wano, they use good-looking women to get their way. It seems as though they use good... damn, you really need to get... there we go. Anyway, kid talking about wanting to sumo, but okay, back to it. Yeah, in a nutshell, I think that girl is just bad news. I think, again, Zoro's character right now is very, very important for him to mingle with somebody like that so that he can understand and learn more about himself. It's going to be interesting to see. She stood her ground against Orochi. She was killed for it. I don't know. I'm excited either way. I think that was, if anything, that was enjoyable recap the way it was presented. It felt as though it was enjoyable recap because a lot of it was, again, her saying the story, all this stuff that we already kind of knew, but getting more into her personality. And why would Oda spend that much time on that? Just to say that, yeah, she's righteous, blah, blah, blah. It could be. Or there could be a Pudding 2.0. Wano, again, they use beautiful women and things of that nature to get their way. Might be the same case. Who knows? Maybe that was all a setup. Kid's still in the wings, right? Are we all the same thing or on the same page about pretty much that's Kid in the dark that we constantly see in the Coliseum where Luffy is fighting? That's what I'm thinking, to be honest with you. It was interesting seeing Beppo fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. Beppo, he's going through it right now. And again, that just shows their loyalty, of course, to law. They didn't snitch, gave us clarification, even though we already knew for the most part. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a Kid in the tunnel. It has to be Kid. Yeah. The technique that could break through. Okay, then the big interesting part of the chapter that everybody was going wild over. I feel I was going wild over. I don't know. Maybe everybody else was too. About the technique that can break through Kaido's scales potentially. Because boy, Luffy's gonna need that. And this honestly feels like an incredibly interesting way to get to the point of Luffy being able to credibly, with help, I still feel as though no matter what, Luffy needs a lot of help, take down Kaido. Because Rayleigh, if this is a technique that Rayleigh can use, and Luffy is really using all of this time to train up to be able to do it on Rayleigh's level, it's gonna be interesting to see if Luffy actually uses this technique and does again. I think possibly him using or learning that technique that Rayleigh is teaching him, that'll possibly be added on to whatever Gear 5th is. And Gear 5th is going to be deadly. I hope Gear 5th is finally a really serious badass. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Snake Man was the most badass Luffy transformation thus far, minus Gear 2nd. But I think Gear 5th has the possibility and potential to be even more badass. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, see, Luffy not being able to do it at Rayleigh's level is what's going to make it a challenge to beat Kaido and make him need a lot of help. If he at least gets the basics, because honestly, Luffy and them have been skimming by throughout a good chunk of the series on the basics. They ran through all of part 1 on the basics, not having hockey. So probably having the basics of Rayleigh's fundamental teaching of that, as well as a lot of help, could help to take down Kaido, especially if somehow Kaido is weakened. If Big Mom weakens Kaido some way in enough of a manner to make it that, okay, now Kaido's weakened, now Luffy can use his premature version, that's how Luffy can get the win. I think Big Mom needed to be here because there was no other way that that monstrosity that fell from the heavens and survived can be put down. Okay. Let's see. Okay, then the old man versus the alpaca, or yeah, the old man versus the alpaca. It showed a couple of things. It showed, I think it developed the plot very nicely that Luffy taught the old man that he can teach him, because Luffy was teaching the old man and it's like, oh, he's using a technique that the old man didn't even knew he had. So it kind of reminded the old man, thank you, Gabriel Mansfield, for the donation. It kind of reminded me of the old man. Hold on one second. It kind of reminded me, I guess. Yeah, this is why I hate doing this shit live sometimes, because I get off track. Kind of show the old man he can be an instructor regardless. It kind of showed the old man that basically he could be an instructor regardless. It showed him basically that you can, the same way Luffy was instructing him, and this old man can't really, like, yo, he's old as shit, and he was able to kind of evade stuff. Then it made him think, okay, I could teach him as well, and that's where we're going to get that. I'm really excited to see what this old man can do, and if Luffy gets his way, it's going to be real freaking hype. How much is it? Can't risk filing up the preparations. Fam, you really need a life, bro. Like, you need a life, dog. I know who you are and what you're doing, bro, but you really need to just, like, get a life. I'm just saying that. Like, you dead ass need a life. I'm not even gonna lie. For real. That's some, like, you're on some loser shit right now. Like, I try to be nice about it, but get a life. Go do something else. You're corny as fuck for what you're doing. Get a life. It's just some lame that wants attention. You know, you want attention. How about you go do something else with yourself and stop trying to troll to get attention because you get no views other than when you talk about me. How about that? Okay. You got to talk about me to get views. That's sad and pathetic. I'm just saying. Now you kind of got me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, go do something. I'm talking about One Piece. You don't even know what the fuck that shit is. Anyways. Yeah, it's just bozos with no life, honestly. That's why I'm also new to this shit, because normally, you know, average person would just kind of like negate that shit, but I guess I need a little bit more time to do this. Anyway, let's see. Luffy already learned Katakuri's future sight. That was also really cool as well. I'm not even gonna lie. The fact that Luffy was using already what he learned from Katakuri, that's great. I love how shonen have developed because they weren't that intricate from my memory of down to details like that. And not all shonen are like this. Obviously, this is something that Oda is capable of doing, but it definitely showcases that shonen in the future have to be a little bit more methodical to keep up with, at the very least, if you want to be with the best. And One Piece is one of, if not the best, because it's biggest in Japan, which quality and quantity obviously aren't the same. But yeah, it's interesting to see that whatchamacallit, One Piece is really setting the bar. We're how long in? How many years has One Piece been going? And he's setting the bar that high. What else we got here? The hint is that a training arc is next year, probably. Yeah, and in a nutshell, it was a dope reveal at the end of that old man is Higoro of wait, how do you pronounce Hyogoro of the flowers, and pretty much he's kind of gonna be an instructor again in what I feel is a training arc. This right now is a training arc. Queen is allowing Luffy to have a training arc in the middle of all this, and that of course is when the big baddies mess up. That's when they mess up and Queen is going to get bodied. And it's probably going to be that exact technique that takes him out. It'll be a good training for Luffy to use the technique. And then bam, Kaido get bodied. Kaido wants to die though. Yeah, I guess to wrap it up, let's get to the question portion. Kaido, the way he's moving, do you think that at this point, with Luffy learning that technique, Big Mom, and everyone else right there, this gives it a bit more of a credible chance for Luffy defeating Kaido and it making sense? Do you feel as though the way it's done is, or the way it's being presented, I guess, is good enough? Because a lot of people are going to be pissed either way. I feel as though unless Kaido is defeated by like Shanks or something, people are going to be pissed. If Luffy doesn't do it in an incredible way that like everybody, which I don't know, I have no, if there's any author in Shonen Jump that I have 100% faith in to pull something like that off, it is Oda. I don't see it being a complete ass pull, but people did complain about the Katakuri fight with Luffy. So kind of curious how you guys feel knowing that this is the future of where Luffy's techniques are going to be. Also, do you feel as though this is the precursor to Gear 5th, or it's going to just be another BS power up or BS, I guess, victory for Luffy? I mean, clearly, once he gets the grasp of this while fighting in this thing, that's how he's going to take out Queen. Almost guaranteed. That's been already set up there. But will that be enough? Not mastered, because there's no way he can master this in this, saga right now of what's going on. Could he, with that kind of inexperienced version of that hockey technique, be able to take out somebody like Kaido? And your overall thoughts of the chapter? Do you feel as though, or do you agree with me that chick is possibly, even though she's Momo's sister, she's working with Orochi and them, and that was all a ruse to catch somebody? And where do you think this is going to lead Zoro? There's a lot of questions here right now. Wano continues to get interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. And now on to, in a second, Black Clover. But what did everybody think about One Piece? The old man said the same thing as Zoro's master about cutting steel. I think hockey is going to continue to develop, because hockey was a new thing. Like, how long ago in the series was hockey introduced? It seems as though a lot of series in Jump now, they're getting craftier and more creative with the techniques. So that's possibly another thing that why hockey is going to soon be it's already been explored, I think, as much as they possibly can. And Oda's been very creative. I think it's going to be, there's possibly going to be evolutions to it, maybe. Oh my gosh, NERO. Okay, yeah. Fuck it. I can't wait no more. I want to talk about Black Clover. Oh, where's the notepad? Hold up. Let me pull up the notepad again. Oh shit! I gotta find my notes. Hold on. Let me get them. Bam. Here in a second, we're about to talk about Black Clover. But any last thoughts on One Piece? Big things are gonna happen in this arc of One Piece. Luffy will have a stronger Hanky. What is Hanky? Okay. Fuck it. We'll go straight to Black Clover. Let's go. Okay, where do we begin? Hold on, I got two sets of notes open now. What the hell? Black Clover 201, baby. It's been crazy, yo. I'm not gonna lie. I would argue that 201 was way more interesting and exciting than even 200. 200 was a dope chapter, but that little birdie, let me tell you what a little birdie told me. It's so freaking cool because Black Clover, I read a comment somebody said on Twitter, a really good short way to describe Black Clover. And I might have said something similar to this, but he put it as it's every shonen cliche just done right. And once again, these are things again that we've seen in many shonen, the pet or the mascot, so to speak. And this one in particular was this bird, and it reminded me of Yu Yu Hakusho. That's what I got from seeing that bird when I first saw it. It reminded me of Plu. It reminded me of Yu Yu Hakusho. And now that I saw that the bird could talk, I'm like, okay, so a lot of the theories that I had, and I've seen some people having murmurings about it as well, are starting to come to fruition. I'm just kind of curious of what type of power up we're going to get. But let's start from the very beginning of the chapter because we had a lot. We finally got the devil. We finally got the devil. That sounds crazy. We finally got the devil or the demon or that devil appearing in the manga again. It's been about a chapter 2 since he was shown. I know last chapter we didn't really get to see him, and I don't remember if we seen him the chapter before that, but he was trying to find the exit. And he went into that one door. He went up to that one door and he's like, yo, could this be the exit? And it seems as though they've been split up at this point. It's I don't know if this was off screen or maybe I missed something, but it seems as though Yami and I think it was Yami and Patri. Well, Patri went on his own first, and then Yami, and we have a split where Asta, Yuno, and Nozel went their path as well. So that we kind of have a split, which I'm imagining they went to the real lit where that energy was coming from, and they just followed this demon. I don't know. It seems a little weird the way the setting has been done in the time period and everything, like, or not the time period, but the times that each character is moving. It's a little bit confusing, to be honest with you. That's one thing that Black Clover has been a little bit lacking on explaining things. It kind of like jumps scenes a couple of times here and there, and that's a little bit like, it's hard to keep up sometimes. But Patri goes, and we get already like, because this chapter had a lot of different layers to it. There was different. It was almost like a bunch of chapters in one. It was a battle chapter. It was a big exposition chapter. There was a lot of different things, but a lot of action. I'm not gonna lie. And the very beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, man! If only like it's hard for me to say, oh, I can't wait for the anime to get there because I don't know what we're gonna get sometimes with that anime. But the fight was really good in the beginning. We got lit going hard, and we're already at that point where now the villain is helping out. I love those. I like when we have a villain that is still like, yo, he was pretty nasty and bad, and he shows up and he fights against the other villain. Except like I didn't like it in a way when Obito kind of like I felt bad for him, but I wasn't really like I don't know. So we got Patri first fighting the devil, and you can see that this is how strong he is because the devil's not really breaking a sweat like that. He used the ground, like he's very, very freaking strong because he uses the ground. He starts raining swords. He starts doing all sorts of crazy shit. And yeah, like yo, he's a monster. But Patri eventually, if it wasn't for Charlotte showing up or Elf Charlotte, I don't know what her elf personality name is or whatever, but the elf Charlotte, because she's still not 100% Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken. She shows up and Patri was going to get bodied. So that shows how incredibly strong the devil is. If Patri, who's very strong, mind you, he tricked him, but he did take out Julius. He's very strong. And that was crazy too, to be honest with you. When the devil started putting in work, or not putting in work, when he started trolling, even as Patri's putting in work, the devil starts trolling. That shit was like, yo, that was wild. I'm not gonna lie, because that shows more of his character. And to be honest with you, he doesn't seem like he really, I don't know, like, because he's trying to find the exit, he's trying to get out of there. To him, it seems that they're flies. Like, he don't really value their power. But I'm curious, outside, where was he going? Because does it have anything to do with where NERO said he wanted to go? Was the devil trying to go to the demon's bones and restore it? Because then that could be a very big hint to where we're going with this. Thank you for everybody that's just joined in, by the way. I know I've been going a lot longer than usual, but now it's going to be a bit of a longer stream because My Hero Academia is on the plate. By next week, we should have My Hero reviews. We already talked about a lot of different things that'll be in the video on demand version, so you guys can check out all of this. And of course, we'll be, as we've been doing, cutting up the segments, so anybody that doesn't want to sit through the whole stream can watch the individual discussions that we've had on the stream. But getting back to it, seems like you can almost do anything. That was one of the things that I noticed too. It seems as though this devil, as strong as he is, he's even using like abilities that like some of the captains can use. Like, it seems as though he would, I don't want to say he could solo the captains. I think if all the captains showed up right now, he would definitely get bodied and he's going to have to like run after a certain point. But he's very, very strong. He's using like the Gates of Babylon, Fate Stay Night type of shit in this. Okay. He's strong as hell. Let's see. Okay. Because again, a lot of this chapter, it was action. And the crazy thing is, leave it to Black Clover, right? Leave it to Black Clover for an action-packed chapter. But the fans, I know I was, and I seen a lot of people talking, were more excited about a couple of chirps from a bird. A couple of words from a bird made us more excited than like so much of the incredible action. And that's really dope. That's why I like Black Clover so much, because like a couple of words really get it going. Yami steps in Lizelle, follow Litz with Aston. Now we're gonna get, it's interesting as well, because now Yami and Elf Charlotte are teaming up, which you can see that there's feelings on both sides. Yami threatens her, well, not on Dark Elf side. What I mean is, we know that Charlotte has feelings for Yami. Not Dark Elf, oh my gosh. The Elf Charlotte, there we go. Elf Charlotte. We know that real Charlotte has feelings for Yami, and Yami has real feelings for Charlotte, seemingly, because the threat, he's like, yeah, you harm a hair on her body, it's a wrap. So you know that there's both on each side. I don't think it would be crazy if Charlotte died in this. I don't think that's gonna happen though. And she's been honestly very vital. Like, she's been one of the most vital captains of this arc, if you think about it. She's really put in work. Oh, Charlotte and Yami got like dark magic black. And then when Yami started going in, absorbing fire with the black hole, and then it seems as though at the end he was able to cut the devil's arm and wing off, like his left arm that had the grimoire in it and the wing as well. So I don't know. I'm imagining he's going to be able to regenerate. I'm imagining it's not going to be that big of a deal, because the devil has been looking at them up to this point like they nothing anyways. And yeah, he was using the fences because probably, you can kill this guy, but I'm imagining he's going to be able to regenerate his limbs like nothing and grab that grimoire, stuff like that. It also shows that Yami was quick to catch on that it was the devil that made the elves and people hate each other. When he's like, oh, I thought you guys would hate each other. He says, yeah, I'm starting to wonder why, or something along the lines of that. It's because Yami's like putting two and two together. Oh, so it's this is the guy that's started all this shit. So good on Yami. Then the end of the chapter that everybody's talking about. Honestly, that's the part that I wanted to talk about the most, because other parts of the chapter were great and all, but NERO, because so many people have been saying for so long, like, you just look at the openings, it's constantly NERO there, and he's always had this really interesting, just vibe to him. Like, yeah, there's something there. And we know shonen anime manga, we know usually if there's something that's sitting around for a while, it might be. And NERO talking, which I'm imagining his voice is deep as shit. I'm imagining his voice is super deep. And that's why his face is kind of like that. Unless it comes out squeaky, but he has that serious, it'll be weird. But I'm imagining it's going to be like a super deep voice coming. And even the bird, bro, that is freaking hilarious that even the bird looks at Finral as nothing more than a traveling device. He's like, yo, take me to the demon bones. When I read that, I was like, yo, Black Clover. NERO, bro. Pooh 2.0, baby. But crazy. Now, theories, which I've seen some people in the chat talking about it. There's some theories that I've seen of one, that's the first magic or the first wizard king or magic emperor. I don't know which one it is. There's so many translations. Which one is the proper translation? Magic emperor or wizard king? But regardless, you know what I'm talking about. One of the predecessors or the very first predecessor to Julius. The first guy. People are saying that that's potentially him. I think it's too early for that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe it's Julius. Maybe Julius has somehow gotten in Nero's head and he's moving. But him wanting to go to the demon's bones, why? I'm imagining if there's a connection between Nero and Asta, it's going to be something. Him going to the demon's bones is going to give Asta enough power to fight off whatever threat. Because are Asta and and Nozel going toward the real Lit's body? If that's the case, he's going to need that. But I'm curious just what's Nero's whole end goal here. Who really is Nero? If he's the first magic emperor, that would be crazy. That'll be crazy. It'll give a lot of exposition, but also it'll ruin a lot of surprises, I feel. So I'm kind of half and half about it being the first magic emperor. Whoever the hell it is, holy cow. That was a game changer, baby. It's going to be really exciting. Leave it again. Hype chapter. Great fights. Yami action. Charlotte putting in work. The devil trolling around using his incredible capabilities. But a bird talking as well as the meat of it all. And that's why I love Black Clover, baby. That's why Black Clover been on to bigger and better things lately with its plot development, plot twist, the progression, exposition, all of it. Honestly, Black Clover 201, better than 200. It was a great chapter. That was a great plot twist. It was all around just awesome. Now, if it's something stupid and NERO turns out to be something real dumb, I'm going to be very disappointed because my expectations right now, incredible. Kind of curious, though, what you guys think. The big reveal, first of all, did you expect NERO to talk at some given point? Was that one of your things? Were you surprised by it or you knew all along? Also, who do you think NERO is? Is he just his own person and he has his own voice? Why does he want to go to the demon's bones? I'm imagining it's to give Asta a power-up. Either to give him a power-up or maybe it's something, I don't know. Is he a villain? Maybe he's bad. I don't know. I didn't get that vibe at all. I felt as though it was going to be something helpful. Maybe the real Lit is using his powers, and maybe the real Lit is in NERO as well. There's that possibility. Black Clover 201. Your real thoughts and expectations. It was a hype chapter. Freaking yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I was really excited. Let's see what you guys are thinking right here. You were expecting and surprised at the same time. I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't expect if we was gonna see NERO do anything, it was gonna happen now. Yeah, I heard 7 Deadly Sins about to end. That was a 9 out of 10 chapter, 100%. Hype as hell. I'm just curious, is NERO with us or against us? Is he going to help the devil right now? Or, because why is he going to the demon's bones? Like, if Yami's cutting him down and everything, what? Maybe NERO is the bad part of Asta? New sword of First Magic Emperor's return. Because again, I'm not 100% convinced that it's not bad. You think NERO's trying to stop the demon? Love how good NERO been help us too. Yeah, honestly, Black Clover lately, yo. Oh my gosh, it's been freaking incredible. And yeah. Because honestly, I have a couple other things I have to get to tonight. Some videos I got to edit and stuff like that. Thank you for everybody that stopped through. Before we wrap this up, I have to announce the winner. In case you guys didn't know, we was giving away a Boruto Blu-ray, or we've been giving away from Gemmer. All you had to do was basically make an account and upload your collection. And we have the winner is let's see. We're gonna go with Prince of Dads. Prince of Dads on Gemmer. Thank you for entering the contest. You have an awesome DBZ collection, by the way. I love that manga. Oh my god, that Goku Super Saiyan God. Yeah. You're the winner of the Boruto Blu-ray, bro. I will be contacting you to send it to you. And yeah, just like that, baby, we're giving away Boruto first, or we gave away Boruto first 13 episodes on Blu-ray. Thank you to everybody that joined, everybody that donated. Fornever Fridays every Friday at 7 p.m. Honestly, I've been having a blast. I apologize that I got out of character for a minute, not out of my own, because this isn't an act, but kind of got out of who I am, because who I am today, and I guess this is the last thing that I want to touch up on, just talking a little bit about life. Who I am today, I don't like doing that. And I apologize for my actions earlier, because regardless of what, that ain't me anymore. I'm not into none of that no more. So whoever was, whatever was going on, yeah, that ain't me anymore. I'm not into going back and forth. I'm doing my thing. I'm enjoying, my peoples are enjoying the content. I'm just trying to live. So yeah, I apologize to my viewers that were a little bit taken back or whatever, because that ain't me anymore. I'm not into none of that bull crap. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to talk about anime, manga, and enjoy life, and maybe give a couple gems along the way of knowledge. So yeah, just wanted to apologize about that, because I'm not into that bullshit. Thank you, Lighter Ramos. I appreciate you. And Karama. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. I know I hate ending these, because I have so much of a blast doing these with you guys. Fornever Friday, 7 p.m. every Friday, Eastern Standard Time. Well, 7-ish. I might be 7:05, 7:10. It's usually never 7 on the dot. But yeah, Fornever Fridays. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit the bell to get all notifications. If you miss getting my notifications in, it's because YouTube. Make sure you got that all notifications on. I think you got to click it twice on the bell. I'd really appreciate it. Been having a blast on the channel doing it. And yeah, those notifications really help so that y'all get the content and everything keeps moving along. And if you want to check any of my other social media, links, of course, in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day. Can't forget the music, though, although I can't even play music. Shit, I can't play music. There's no outro for this. Yeah, have an awesome day. Nah, for real, have an awesome day. It's been a great one, honestly. I really love this stream, even with the negativity. We're moving past that.